Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the super complex world of global trade and development, and we're going to tackle a really big question. Who actually profits from the things we buy every single day? All right, first up, a massive shout out to Mr. Chi for making this explainer happen. This is specifically designed to give you the goods to absolutely smash your exams, so let's get into it and make him proud. So let's just start with a simple question. Have you ever actually stopped to think about your morning coffee? Or, the phone that's probably in your hand right now? Where does this stuff really come from? And maybe even more importantly, who's actually making the money along that incredible journey around the world? That question, well, it's at the heart of everything we're about to talk about. Okay, so here's the game plan. We're going to kick things off with the surprising story behind your cup of coffee. Then we'll uncover the rules that run the global market. We'll get into the big debate. Should trade be fair, or should it be free? After that, we'll look at the massive force of globalization. And finally, we'll wrap up by figuring out where you fit into all of this. All right, first up, let's talk about the real price of coffee. Yeah, we're going to use something you see every single day to unpack these huge ideas of international trade and development. There's literally a whole world in every single cup. So at its most basic level, international trade is just countries swapping goods and services. And look, it's absolutely essential. Why? Well, because no single country has it all, right? No one's got all the minerals, all the right weather for every crop, all the technology. To put it simply, we all kind of need each other. And this slide really shows you where the imbalance in the system is. So the journey starts on a farm in a less economically developed country, an LEDC, like Uganda. The farmer who grows the beans often gets paid a tiny, tiny fraction of the price you and I pay. It's wild. Then, those raw beans, which don't have much value yet, get exported. They land in a more economically developed country, in MEDC, where they get roasted, packaged, and advertised. That's where all the real value, and the profit, is added, creating jobs and wealth thousands of miles from where it all began. So this whole imbalance thing we just saw with coffee, it doesn't just happen by accident. It's all shaped by the rules of the global market. So let's dig into that a bit and see how the flow of all this stuff is measured and controlled, and who really benefits. Okay, when it comes to a country's money, it really boils down to a pretty simple balance. Think of it like this. If you sell more stuff, your exports, than you buy, your imports, you've got a trade surplus. Ka-ching! The country gets richer. But if you're spending more on imports than you're earning from exports, that's a trade deficit. And over time, that can cause some serious economic headaches. So here's the really crucial bit. It's not just about how much you trade, it's about what you trade. This is what we call the terms of trade. Just like we saw with the coffee beans, LEDCs are often stuck exporting raw materials that don't fetch a high price, things like crops, wood, or ores. Meanwhile, MEDCs are exporting the finished, high-value stuff like cars and electronics. This means that even if they're trading the same physical amount of goods, the MEDCs are the ones raking in way more cash. Now, countries don't just let all this trade happen in a free-for-all. They often put up what are called trade barriers to protect their own industries. You've got tariffs, that's basically a tax on stuff coming in to make it more expensive. There are quotas, which put a hard limit on how much of something can be imported. Governments can also give subsidies, which is just cash to help their own companies compete. And then you have whole trading groups, where countries team up to trade freely with each other while making it harder for outsiders. Okay, so all of this brings us to a massive debate at the very heart of global economics. What should the goal be? Should we make trade as free as possible or as fair as possible? And trust me, those are two very, very different ideas. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it lays out these two clashing ideas. On one side, you have free trade, pushed by big groups like the World Trade Organization. The whole idea is to get rid of barriers, let competition run wild, and hopefully grow the whole economic pie for everyone. But then you have fair trade. This is totally different. It's less about the overall economy and more about making sure the little guy, the coffee farmer back in Uganda, gets a fair price and a fair deal for their work. So this whole free trade versus fair trade debate, it's really just one part of a much, much bigger picture called globalization. So let's zoom out a bit and get our heads around this huge force that's changing pretty much everything, not just what's in our shopping carts. So what exactly is globalization? You hear the word all the time. Well, in a nutshell, it's the process that's making our world feel smaller, more connected, more tangled up together. It's all about countries depending on each other more and more, and it's all powered by amazing new technology and communication, transport, and of course, trade. And get this, Globalization isn't just about shipping boxes around the world. It's really about these 5 major flows that connect us. You've got money zipping around the globe as investments. You've got ideas, like democracy, spreading everywhere. Technology gets shared. Information moves instantly because of the internet. And of course, people are on the move, as tourists, migrants, you name it. But the big question is globalization a good thing? And the answer is, well, it's really complicated. On the plus side, it can create wealth, it lets us share knowledge, and it gives us access to all kinds of amazing products. But on the flip side, it can lead to job losses in richer countries, it can make all our cultures feel the same, it can make local economies super vulnerable, and it often comes with a big environmental cost. It's a true double-edged sword. Okay, and just a quick side note here for those of you really aiming for those top grades. You'll want to know about a strategy called export-led development. This is where a country basically bets its whole economy on making stuff to sell to other countries. Now, for some places, like South Korea, it worked out brilliantly, but it's super risky, and for many others, it hasn't been that silver bullet to success. Okay, so we've covered some massive global ideas. Let's bring this all back home. After all that, what does this actually have to do with you? Where do you fit in this giant global chain? Look, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Global trade connects every single one of us. We are all connected in this massive, invisible web. From the person who grew the food you eat to the person who put together the tech you use, our lives are all linked together. And that really leaves us with one last big thought. If we're all part of this chain, it means our choices matter. Every single thing you decide to buy or not buy sends a little message down that chain. So my question to you is, as a consumer, as a part of the system, what power do you really have to change things? And that is a wrap on this explainer. I really hope that helped make sense of some pretty complex stuff. If you want more brilliant content like this, you absolutely have to go and follow Mr. Shi on all his channels: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Go on, do it now. And please don't forget to like this, share it with your mates, and subscribe for more exam help. All right, good luck with your revision and go smash those exams.